Fairway woods. Everything you need to know from a beginner who goes in and gets their brand new fairway wood to someone who's a decent player and is looking for a fairway wood to travel across different courses. This is a 15-degree QI35. I have a Loft sleeve. What the hell is that, Trotty? That is going to be this black part here, and I have a tour truck in my pocket. Really? That's it. Correct. That is it. This video is going to explain everything you guys need to know about the fairway wood, about the Loft sleeve, and what you should look for to get the most out of this massive utility player in your bag. Pretty nice for a 15-degree fairway wood off the floor. We'll get to the numbers in a minute, but let's talk about the Loft sleeve. Let's talk about setting our apex where we want it. That one was at 75. Could have gone a bit higher. It was a slight pull looking at the numbers I've got on the full swing kit there. How do you even approach this? I'm using a 15 degree as mentioned, but with this sleeve I can hit 13 degrees, I can hit 17 degrees, assuming the loft on that head is truly 15 when we start, which we will for the sake of this video. What does that Loft sleeve change? What can it help me with? Why is it so powerful? Loft hits the golf ball. That creates launch. How you deliver the golf club and how steep you are on the golf club changes the flight. For example, keep that 75 in mind. I'm going to bang a fairly high tee there for my 3-wood. And any beginner out there, if you're not advancing to driver quite yet off the tee, give a high tee 3-wood a go. And that is rocket ship high for me. And let's have a look at the apex. And let's have a look at the most important number, which is total distance. That was 270, that last one. And see if this thing changes. So a nice high tee, give it a ride. Same line, much higher on the tracer. Look, they're a little drawy, but it's going to be a good example for us. 276, but the number I wanted to highlight is apex, 95. I've not changed that Loft sleeve. Without getting too deep into spin rates, by changing the tee height, you are going to change the amount of spin you put on the golf ball. Trotty, why does that matter to me? It changes the apex. Trotty, why does that matter to me? It changes the distance. Distance impacts everything about your game. Loft and strike point impact it. The two things demonstrated for you there. If you add loft, and we will go extremes to show you, keep in mind you've seen a 76 apex for your standard one. Also, think about this as a fitting. Build your fitting around the way I'm doing things. I'm trying not to overcomplicate things for the beginner. I'm trying to talk in height. I'm trying to talk in total. But if I go all the way down to lower on that Loft sleeve, that was it. I'll show you how that happens. You simply pop the wrench in, you unscrew, you remove the club. Now you've got two parts. Don't be intimidated by this. You have a standard Loft for a right-hander looking you in the eye. Turn it a bit, you've got lower. Turn it the other way, you've got higher. Flip it on the back, it says upright lie. What does that mean? Let's go lower for now, and I'll explain the upright piece in a second. Moving the club to lower opens the face angle. What's the face angle? Face angle is the relation of this club to the target. Remove the tee for this one for now. But now the face angle is more open. So ball to target line. I've got it going at the little rock out there. Now we've got right on the face angle. Notice how these have been turning over a little bit for me. Turning over means moving left. One was a pull, one was a draw. Let's see if that face angle helps us. The number I want you to keep in mind is the 76. Now, why did I just tap the ground like that? Because you know what? This thing's just got angry. What does that mean? It doesn't mean it's a version of me in a golf club. It means that it's stronger in loft. And when I look down at it, there's a little bit of me saying here, you're going to have to step up to this, sunshine, because this doesn't look like the easiest club to hit anymore. So do this with the 5-wood, do it with the 4-woods, the high HLs, do it with the 7-woods, take the loft down, make things a bit easy for yourself. This wouldn't be something I would play right now because it, like I said, looks a little angry, looks a little strong in loft. So we've got face open, Loft sleeve stronger. It's down at like 13 degrees. Let me focus for a little hot second here and see if I can produce a demonstration. Why do we even doubt ourselves, Q Mondo? Absolutely cannoned down the pipe, we'd be tapping in for eagle. That was hit so good, probably the best shot. Maybe not the best example because I've just apexed it at 99. What should have happened is that should have come out a little bit lower. If you take the total number, because honestly, that was hit very good. The reason that was hit so good is the attack angle for a 3-wood was perfect, which we might as well cover. Going a little deep, but I want to. When I put one off a tee, let's do this as simple as I can. And this is why I like 3-woods off a tee. This is why you might like mini driver off a tee for this exact same thing. When you put a golf ball on a tee, and this is the most out of shape tee I could find in the world, so this is going to be great, and I've had a lot of coffee, so we're shaking. Let's assume the ball's on the tee. Then you take the fairway wood. If the ball's nice and high, you change the relationship between the center of gravity of this club and the center of gravity of this ball, and you get a higher launch, like we demonstrated on the second shot, with a lower spin that gives you more yardage. The first shot I hit, the ball was off the floor. Those two things are in line. The ball comes out a bit line drivey. That one I've just hit for you had the perfect delivery down slightly in attack angle. Therefore, it was almost like it was on a mini tee, which I know it was because I gave it the old Laura Davis tap in the ground, but that's why it came out shooting and strong. That is why some of you beginners out there who swing a little bit steep, all right, what does that mean? You tend to chop down on the golf ball, might take a little bit of a divot. Having a 3-wood, that answers the old adage, why do I hit my 3-wood better than I hit my driver? Just hit back, back, back 3 times to go back 30 seconds and listen to that again. You hit your 3-wood and your mini driver better because you're steep on it and you hit down on it. People we've had on this tee that I think are very relatable in this situation, you look at someone from Riggs at Barstool, that is why he hits 3-wood, mini driver, and 2-iron. He hits a 2-iron a lot. People give him a lot of SH1T online for it, but it's because he's quite steep. Go back to other people I fit on this tee that you would know who are more relatable than a tour player. Carter, the DOD King, has hit mini drivers on here. Think about it. If the ball is off the floor and you're hitting down on it, you've got to be steep, which again is why this angry loft setting might be good for you. Now let's go the other way and the other style of golfer. And the other thing, there's 2 more settings that are going to make this super easy for you. If I go all the way out from lower, take them apart, get the higher pointing at you, there's a little arrow, pop that in higher, tighten it up. Now my miss is left, I'm steep on it. Those 2 things contribute to absolute rocket bombs to that shot you've just witnessed, which is the nuclear angry 3-wood. Now we're going to go 3-wood off the floor. Again, you can do this with a 5-wood. I know people are going to be like, Jesus, Jones, I can't hit, whoever Jonesy is, I can't hit a 3-wood off the floor. Now what we've got, this thing's almost a 5-wood. It's a 15 gone to 17. It's hooked in. The face is pointing left for the right-handed golfer. You're going to see more turnover from right to left. You should see a higher one, player dependent on the delivery. And I'll tell you that after I've hit it, because I'm not Tommy Fleetwood and I'm not Mystic Meg. Let's see how this goes. See the draw? Much shorter. Just watch the tracer. It's on the front of that green. I'd have 45 feet for eagle rather than 3 feet. Much shorter in flight, 252. Apex, because the other one was so good, is actually at 86. Think back to my first golf shot that was standard. Apex was 76. Moving that loft sleeve all the way to higher, and the tracer, which Q Mondo will be able to put up there for you, it was a bit flippy, I'll give you that. Path was a bit right, but it was drawing. It was maybe a bit toey. Again, these are the things that I've got to tell you after I've hit it, because I'm not Tommy Fleetwood. It was drawing a bit with the face angle and the gear effect, which is the bulge, the way it was hit. The point is, to make it simple, if you're a happy hamburger and you stand here and you don't compress it, you get too tall, you do everything we don't want you to do, you grip it weak and you swing like this. If that's how you swing, you want this thing in higher, because that amount of curvature, which is how you look when you swing the golf club, I promise you, you're not rotating, you're not hitting the third golf shot I hit, you're cutting across, you're helping the ball in the air, you're adding spin. You need this setting, or you need the next one that we're about to unlock when that aeroplane passes over. Talk amongst yourself. The final setting, if you can't get your head And we're going to show you visually these, or we will have done it by now already in the edit, these face angles, which by the way is why Tiger Woods talks a lot about his impact on this laser etch line on the top. Also happened with Hideki Matsuyama. Face angles, what they wanted. You then go back to the drawing board, take these things and remove them. Now that blank side, again, I'm going to go to extremes so that everyone can put their head on a pillow at night and know where they're at with extremes. Stick it in upright lie angle. So now you've got the blank side, the middle. Stick the arrow in there, tighten this. It has to click. If it doesn't click, you're going to look like a right muppet because you're going to be walking down the range to get this thing. Now what's happened, and I'll hit one to show, I wouldn't advise this for shorter, more vertically challenged people like myself. But what's happened now is you've got a face angle that is square to target, parallel to target, perpendicular. Someone pull me apart for that. A lie angle. So the body of this, the toe is closer to my nose. As a result, for me, if I try and put a neutral shot on this, I should be getting a little bit more left. And look, for me, you can even see it from there. Look at how upright that is. I almost feel if I leant down a little bit this way, I could scratch my nose with the toe of that golf club. Okay, let's see. Should move a little bit left for me. There you go. That is what I would fight with this setting. It's not a comfortable look for me. That's the shot I would see. It's gone 24 left on side total. I've struggled to get it in the air. This is a setting I would never play. But for our entry level 5 wood, 7 wood, 9 wood, 3 wood, 4 wood guys, mini driver, works on driver too, but this ain't a driver video, so don't go there, Troy. For those characters who stand too close or not the right distance, stand too upright, hit it with everything for a cut. I'm aiming down the left. I'm not going to rotate. Well, look at that. That went left. Horrendous. But if you're a golfer that hits the slice, and I'll have a better go at that, look at how little that wants to slice. Just with my hacker chop down there. You took a divot. The club is really upright. Ball doesn't want to go to the right. And I know that there's golfers out there watching this who would love to hit a 3 wood like that goes 200 yards and doesn't cut for them. You can see all the dirt on the face is in the heel. That's how much the heel's grabbing. Same. Final piece, take it apart, put it back into standard. That's your North Star where you start. But notice in all of these markings, you can move and get, it's 2 degrees if I go from standard to lower. But I've also got 1, 2 other settings in the middle. So if I want to go halfway house on any of this, I can also do that. As you come off of standard, you will get more upright with each click that you move away from standard. It's not exact science, but think about it. It's 2 degrees if you go to lower or higher, more upright. And if you go all the way to standard upright, you go 4 degrees. You go twice what the number on the sleeve is. There it is, explained for you and demonstrated as best I can for how a beginner would hit a 3 wood and what they would get from it. Think about it as a great player. I've hit different apexes and different yardages. I've had great players. I'm actually adding this little bit for you because I know you stick around to the end of these things. I've got face angle in there. I've got projected CG through the loft, which really is everything we're changing here, which then changes. I mean, you saw it with me. If I had the angry looking 3 wood versus the one that was too upright for me, the result on the golf shot was massive. I feel like there's a lot of us out there as golfers that if the club doesn't look how you want it to look, you can't hit the shot you want to play. But think about apexes. Think about your trip to the desert where you want more run. You want it apexing lower and skipping and going. Think about your Bandon Dunes journey. And I'll start thinking about that plane and wrapping this video up before it gets over us and ruins the audio. Any questions, get down in the comments below. Hit subscribe as always. I hope you like what you're seeing. The QI35 3 wood's got a lot to offer. The Loft sleeve has got a shed load to offer. So get into one of these, tour truck in your pocket, and you understand that, you're going to be dialed. Questions below.